Chapter 35, Trouble Magnet. We'll need a few tools, Vivi said quietly as she walked toward the smithy. She could have spoken in her head, but she wanted Eam included in the conversation. Axback had almost everything: crucibles, metals, a tuning fork, but he didn't have ether roots. Ether roots? Lucius asked from within her mind. You mean those things gardeners use? Yes, the sage-shaped ones, Vivi said. We need one that hasn't sprouted yet. A metal root would be ideal, but plant roots can work too. Eam's long ears perked straight up, listening carefully. Gardeners use ether roots, Vivi, Lucius said. You're telling me we need gardening supplies to make a sword to replace my claws? We're not replacing anything, Vivi said. We're adding more weapons. Ether roots are essential to Grandpa's inside carving method. The ancient dwarves would have begged their gods for what we know. You'll see. Lucius didn't sound convinced, but Vivi ignored him. Once he held a proper rune sword, she was sure he'd stop complaining. Axback's smithy came into view. The sound of hammering echoed from inside. Vivi breathed in, excited to see the blacksmiths again. Allies were rare in Zand. Friends were rarer. But if she had any, it was the blacksmiths. Do you want to come with me? Vivi asked Eam. I don't think they like you very much. Eam thought for a moment, then hopped off Vivi's back and saluted. I see, Vivi said. We'll meet again. Eam nodded, then ran off into the hub. A few Nimrods tried to catch her, but she slipped past them easily and vanished around a corner. Vivi's shoulders felt strangely empty without the little fiend perched there, but she pushed the feeling aside. She had work to do. She opened the smithy door. The hammering stopped immediately. The apprentices stared at her with gloomy faces. Hello, Vivi asked. Is something wrong? Vivi, Axback said, storming in from the back. You have to leave. What, why? I said I wanted no trouble, Axback growled. And trouble is exactly what you've brought, more than I've had all year. Get out. He tried to shove her toward the door. Vivi stepped back but didn't leave. What happened? Please, just tell me what's going on. Andre's bastards came knocking, Axback said. They grabbed me by the collar asking why you visited my smithy. There's a bounty on your name, 100 ether, dead or alive. Everyone is looking for you. I'm sorry I didn't. And now that you're here again, Axback snapped, face red, they'll be back. Get out, Vivi, take your trouble elsewhere. Vivi bit her lip. The blue cloaks weren't just harassing her, they were going after her allies too. Those dirt-eating bastards. I'm sorry, Axback said more softly. I know you're not bad, but we're blacksmiths. We can't protect you. We have to protect ourselves. I need a place to forge a weapon, Vivi said. Do you know anyone who won't ask questions? There are solo smiths everywhere, Axback said. You could bribe one, but with your bounty, they might just kill you in your sleep. It's okay, thanks for the warning. She turned to leave, but Axback called out. What did you do, Vivi? A bounty is the worst curse a Nimrod can get. You must have really pissed someone off. I defended myself, Vivi said quietly. Then she left. The moment she stepped outside and closed the door, a cold blade pressed against her neck. Vivi froze. She hadn't heard footsteps, hadn't sensed ether, hadn't felt a presence. Whoever struck was strong enough to kill her before Lucius could react. The knife held still. Hello again, my dear human, Undref whispered. Vivi's heart hammered. Stay calm, Lucius murmured inside her mind. He didn't detect me, he isn't here for that. Hello, Vivi said. Did I break a rule? That is what I'm here to investigate. Undref's tone was smooth, dangerous. Rumors say you've obtained a skill. He watched her closely. They say you've grown strong, very strong. An impressive feat for someone 100,000 ether in debt. Less than a week in, and you've made yourself known to everyone. A skill ether would explain your sudden power. Demons love rumors, Vivi said carefully. So they do, Undref said, but rumors still require confirmation. He produced an etherprint scanner with a flick of his fingers and pressed it to her forehead. The orbs glowed. Undref stared at the results for far too long. Finally, he chuckled. No skills, and still 99,950 ether in debt. You haven't gained a single wisp. It's pointless to gather wisps, Vivi said. Better to give ether to my allies. The half-fiend, Undref murmured. Interesting allies indeed. We fiends do what we must, Vivi said. Undref grinned. Amusing, you're free to go, a simple checkup, but I'll be watching. A portal opened beneath him. He sank into it and vanished. Vivi stayed frozen for several seconds. Nimrods were starring from every direction. Undref hadn't cared about privacy at all. Strong, Lucius whispered. Stronger than I thought, at least third elevation and many skills. Great, Vivi thought. Now everyone knows why they want us dead. 100 ether is a fortune for weak Nimrods. They're idiots, Lucius said. Making us enemies isn't worth 100 ether. We still look weak, Vivi thought. We need time to grow. We need skills, Lucius said. Without them, beating the stewards is impossible. And weapons, Vivi added. She walked through the hub. Demons stepped aside when they saw her glare. The blue cloaks are watching us, Vivi thought. I can feel them. They've been tailing us since we entered the hub, Lucius said. But they're weak, not a danger. Still annoying, Vivi thought. I need a place to smith without being stabbed. What if we bring an anvil into the dungeon? Lucius asked. Ideal but impossible. Sneaking a forge down there. Not happening. Renting a smithy meant dealing with officials and questions. Agreed, Lucius said. Any other plan? Not yet. First, we need an ether root. Lucius groaned at the thought of gardening equipment, but they searched every shop in the hub anyway. Nothing. No ether roots, no gardening supplies, no shops even willing to talk about them. Vivi sat down, frustrated. Maybe it was too early for runesmithing. Ivwi, a voice called. Eam sprinted toward her. 3 Nimrods chased behind with weapons drawn. Vivi jumped to her feet. Eam leaped into Vivi's arms. The attackers skidded to a stop. The tallest one stepped forward. Hand her over. The hub isn't a place to fight, Vivi warned. She tightened her grip on Eam and drew her steel sword. Get lost. Eam stuck her tongue out at them. The man spat, scowled, and walked off with the others. This damned facility, Vivi muttered. Are you okay, Eam? Ivwi, Eam chirped. She held out something in her hands, a thick, dark, glossy, egg-shaped object. Vivi's eyes widened. An adamantite root. You found an ether root. Eam grinned proudly. Vivi examined it. Adamantite, one of the strongest and rarest metal roots. Grandpa had always dreamed of working with it. He'd only touched adamantite once, and only because Elendor paid for the materials. Vivi couldn't believe her luck. Thank you, Eam, Vivi said. I'll pay you back, I swear. She lifted her head. Now we just need a place to smith. That won't be an issue, a new voice whispered right behind her ear. Vivi flinched. She hadn't sensed anyone approach. The man's breath smelled of mint. Vivian Runeblist, he said. The cursed runesmith aren't you. Chapter complete. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe for more light novel adventures. Tune in for the next chapter.